As much as I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, and let me tell you something, Ryan Coogler ate this movie down. The cinematography, the storytelling without the trauma being shown to us in such a brilliant way. This movie just tells a story that I just blown away by. There's only one issue that I have with this film, and it's something that I'm noticing and have been noticing when it comes to Hollywood and Black folks telling stories of our own culture. The swirl agenda in Hollywood is so pervasive, and it needs to be stopped. Let's talk about it.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck
on. What's going on, y'all? I know y'all like, oh, girl, what's going like the swirl agenda? Yes. When I tell y'all, it is so noticeable, and I am so tired. I don't want to take anything from Ryan Coogler and the work that was done in this film, but after the conversations the last week, I just feel like it's very important for us to talk about it, because there is something that has been happening and will continue to happen that we need to push back on. Watching this film, like, it's been a week. I wanted to give folks a week to just digest it, but the commentary after the movie, like even a day, and seeing so many like Black men, not all of them, get online and just thirst after Hailee Steinfeld, who played Mary, who also did the voice for Gwen Stacy in Into the Spider-Verse with Miles Morales. Like, she did the voice for Gwen Stacy. And even that, you all remember the conversation where her very weird co-star, who did the voice for Miles Morales, was thirsting over her. So now you have men, Black men, getting on social media talking about how beautiful she is, as if we didn't see so many other beautiful Black people in this movie. Even the conversation about Annie's character and how people did not know that they had a love interest going on, that they were a couple at one time. They were thrown off by it. They didn't. They saw her as an auntie, as a paternal figure. And that is by design, when we understand desire capital and anti-Blackness as well as anti-fatness. No shade, as much as I enjoyed this movie, and spoilers coming for those who have not seen it just a little bit, Annie's character did give me Mammy vibes. She did. And I did want to believe it for a minute, but I saw it, and I actually saw one of my mutuals, who I do respect a lot, who does a lot of commentary around this, said that Ryan Coogler does this specific thing when it comes to film, and they got a lot of pushback and they deleted it. And I couldn't tell what it was that they were talking about. And I'm wondering, was it this? I respect and adore Ryan Coogler, but at the end of the day, he is a Black man and he's not perfect. And we gotta talk about this, because when stories are being told, sometimes, unfortunately, like colorism and all of these things, these systems jump out. Like, all of these things are pervasive around us. They are ingrained in our society. We have to do better jobs of writing these characters. And I think it is important for us to know that Annie did come off as a paternal, motherly auntie figure, not just because she's dark-skinned and plus size. She's fat. Definitely get that. But also we see her be a caretaker in the community. She cares about community, point blank, period. She cares about community so much that she's protecting Mary from her being outed out of the community. No, she's a part of us. Mary is the protector. She is the one that has all of the knowledge. She is the person who is respected, giving almost Medea-like. And this is the issue I have with, I get making this dark-skinned, fat woman are important person in the movie, but it does a disservice because, spoilers ahead, we lose her at the end of the film. Yes, she goes on and she transcends or whatever, but she will no longer be able to be a part of the next possible franchise. What does it mean when she plays this character, and she did such an amazing job? What does it mean when she does not get asked to play in the second possible movie or even a prequel, because so much of the focus towards the end of the movie, the after credits for those who have not seen, showed Hailee Steinfeld's character Mary with Stack. Their love relationship that is going on, their relationship that is still existing. You have Mary deep embedded in Black culture, coming in with this bob and licking a lollipop, doing all of the Black caricature stuff that we see online that Black women get ostracized for. Like, yes, now you see Black women able to do it in rap, some of them, but a lot of the mainstream rap girlies, no shade, are not dark skinned. They do not look like Pearline, and they don't look like no Annie. So when I see Black men talk about how Annie gave auntie vibes, it hurts my feelings, because we only see these women as caregivers and nothing else. Like, even that scene where they were getting it on and bumping and grinding, it still wasn't enough. Even when we get introduced to Mary, it is through Stack, and we hear about their relationship. We find out that she's married to a rich white man. So this means Mary has access to both. She's not happy, but she is put up. She gets to benefit from having this access to these things, and also coming into the Black community, which means she can leave and go as she pleases. Folks like Amber Rose talking about how difficult it is, how they're not accepted. It doesn't make any sense, because you can go and leave when you want to. You have that ability. I cannot identify as white, even if I had a great grandmama or great, 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 whatever that was white. I don't have that type of access. And I don't want to get into the whole one drop rule of it all, but I just want to talk about how dangerous it gets when we are talking about these things and who gets to access. Because right now, Hailee Steinfeld is getting access to Black culture. She is getting access to Black folks. She can do both. She can do both. She can play the lead in another movie and it be just for consumption of white folks. And she can also come and play a little bit of Black and still be the lead. When we have people like Wunmi Masaku, if I'm saying her name correctly, who has always given the best in her roles. I've watched almost everything she's been in. We don't see her take off, and she is served time and time again. And one of the things that I want to expand on with Mary's character, and I want people to listen to this and ask yourself, if Mary's character is so integral to this film for it to move forward, if she's so important, this racially ambiguous character is important for this film, why is it that Mary is thin? Do you think that she could have been written as a fat, racially ambiguous character? And I'm going to argue that she can't be, because she is a representation of love. She is selling desire. And even with her being racially ambiguous, she has to be thin. It is important, I will say, for Mary's character to be thin, because we see thinness tied to whiteness. So we have to see her being this. And also, she and Stack are selling us love. Their love for each other. Even in the end credits, they're still together, even with them being evil. This is what love is supposed to look like. And this is why it's so believable for us as the viewers to see Mary and Stack in a relationship versus Annie and Smoke in a relationship. So we really got to talk about the uncomfortable conversations when it comes to colorism. Like, we really got to have the conversation, and I'm just not holding back anymore. Hailee Steinfeld isn't necessarily wrong, because if it's not her, it would be another person. We need to get to the source. Who is responsible for this? And we could say Ryan Coogler. We could say Ryan Coogler definitely made some decisions in this film that some studios will say, oh, girl, you cannot do that. That end scene, where their oink had got oinked. You know, you don't see that much. But Ryan Coogler is still in Hollywood. He still has to play by the rules. And I want us to pay attention to how often, when it comes to whiteness, as it's not a culture, it's everywhere. It cannot be a culture. It's everywhere. It's a cancer. Looking back at this season of Drag Race, for those who do not know, there's a black drag queen who won this season of Drag Race. And we've seen black drag queens come on Drag Race and not understand the significance of Cher and other white celebrities and artists throughout gay culture. But gay culture is white culture. These artists, I don't know one Cher song. I am supposed to know this coming in, but y'all don't know these other black things because that's not a part. Y'all don't have to know these things. But see how I have to know these things in order to succeed. So what does that mean when someone like Hailee can play these black characters and take advantage of that and also do the white shows as well? The same thing with Miley Cyrus coming in and having, with not being black, not identifying as black, coming in and playing into these things and twerking and stuff and be accepted and invited to the cookout. What is going on? Like, what is going on? So I'm not mad at Ryan Coogler for including Mary in it. What I am doing is questioning, why is Mary's character needed? Why did we not see her get, what's her name? Why did not see that? Why did we not see that? And I think folks need to understand, like, why did we have to lose Pearline, Annie? Yes, they were written that way. But this is a fictional story. If we cannot imagine a story where the dark-skinned folks survive, what does that say? If we cannot create a world, taking elements from this world and imagine the dark-skinned person being able to survive and the dark-skinned plus-size woman or the dark-skinned woman surviving this, what does that say about us? And what does that say about Hollywood? If we cannot imagine that, but we can imagine a biracial coming in and being a part of this, like how she was, oh, y'all, you better get out behind me. Like, folks were living for that because we yearn to be accepted so much that if we see a white person emulating it, we feel like, oh, wow, like we have arrived and the spotlight is on us, honey. Why is that? We need to think about, why does that do so much? Why do we feel good inviting white people to the cookout? Why do we do that? Why do we have to, even in our enjoyment, have to let a white person in to enjoy it more? Because we want their acceptance. And that's something that we will never get. No matter how many Hailee Steinfelds come and dip their toes into black shows and things, they will never accept us. But we are so accepting of them that we are not willing to protect our culture. My breaking point was seeing so many black men watch Hailee in that Jim Crow sundress walk off with them pancakes and thirst after it. And in the same scene, we see Pearline, played by Jamie Lawson, walk in that dress. And y'all, instead of searching for the Easter bunny, y'all was out here looking for the snow bunny. Like, we got to do that. We got to figure out. It was just disappointing to see it. It was so disappointing to see it. And I know all of the black men wasn't thirsting, because it was some black men like, no, like, what's going on? But we had to talk about colorism because that is what's happening. We got to do a better job. And I'm just really not understanding how we can't ever get our own thing without being a part of the swirl agenda. I want you to right now think about all of your favorite shows that are supposed to be black and how often is the swirl agenda in there. Shonda Rhimes is notorious for it. Notorious for it. Like, I cannot, like, even with Miles Morales' character being in love with Stacey, like, every time we get it, we're going to get that. Even with the Magical Negro movie that came out last year, which was a disaster, what did we see the main character who is black, who is light skinned? Who did he have an interest in? Go back to even Dear White People. Like every movie, every black, the only time we probably didn't get it as in recent was the Black Panther movie. But also we got a whole CIA agent in it that we had to protect and care for. Like, because that is put in, I feel like my theory is to give white people a perspective. Even when it is an all black cast, you will notice how certain things are said for people who are outside of black culture to understand, for them to get, oh, that's why that joke is funny. And I enjoy these films. Again, I want to say that I will go see Sinners again, and will most definitely buy the DVD Blu-ray, period. Like, I need to own this because this movie was amazing. The score, I just can't get enough of it. But those are my only critiques so far. And I am enjoying that all of us are talking about it, because I think that is important for us to discuss and critique art. That is the reason why it is made, for us to all say, hey, what did you get from it? So yes, that's my thoughts. Tim, what you thought about it? If you've seen it, if you have not seen it, go see it. If I spoiled it for you, I apologize, but you knew what you was getting into. You invited yourself in. I didn't even have to ask you. Tell me your thoughts, like and subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.